Hey, what's up everyone, Since I'm Gaming here. Welcome back from the Division 2 build video. Well guys, the build that I have for you guys today, it's actually a very different, very unique build than what we use all the time. Now, you may like it, you may not like it. You can let me know later on in the comment section. Now, the cool thing about this build is that you can play the same build in solo, and also you can use the same build when you're in group playing like legendary missions and stuff like that. If you haven't guessed it by looking at the video, that what build I'm actually using, it's actually Umbra Initiative gear set, which is a very underrated gear set, I would say. And I'm also using LMG. Yes, LMG. It synergizes really well, which I want to show you soon. I do have a couple of different variants of the build. One that includes exotic and the other one that does not have any exotic, especially for new players. So everything is timestamps and you can jump here and there if you want. So let me show you. So this is the first variant over here right now, as you can see. Now this is the one I actually recommend to use it on a group, mainly when you're playing legendary missions and incursions and stuff like that. I will show you the solo variant as well later on. Just hold on. But first, we want to use the gunner specialization. Mainly, it's just too good of a specialization. We got the 10% armor on kill. We also got the extra rate of fire off the kills and, you know, ammo regeneration for our LMG, which is our main weapon here. And I'm choosing the GR9 out of all the LMGs I've tried over here. There's plenty of them I tried, as you see. I got the Black Market M60 here. I got the military M60. I got the MG5, you know, Tabula Rasa even. I also tried the tactical M249. I mean, I tried way too many LMGs here, but I'm sticking with the GR9 here. The good alternative to the GR9 would be the Stoner LMG here. Also comes with the 200 mag. But the problem with this weapon is that you have a fixed, mod, which is 20% stability. That's the reason why I didn't choose it. I mean, GR9 also comes with a fixed mod, which is 5% crit chance. So that's good. It has a built-in scope, like 8 times scope. As you can see from the mods, I have like crazy amount of crit chance and crit damage there, like 15% of crit damage and 10% of crit chance, which is pretty good, pretty good for this weapon. Now, the mainly reason why I chose the GR9 because of the RPM is good, the total damage is good, and the mag is also good. I wanted an LMG with more than 150 rounds, mainly because of the talent I'm using, which is steady-handed. Steady-handed requires 100 stacks to refill your magazine, so you need to shoot 100 rounds on someone, right? So if you have a weapon with just 100 rounds, then if you miss, then that's a waste, right? So that's why I wanted to give a little bit of room here, which is basically double in this case. We have 200, so you can miss 100 rounds if you want, right? So yeah, you could do that. But also it increases your accuracy and stability at the same time, like 1% per stack, and 100 stacks is there. So that's crazy. It'll become a laser beam. It's really good for people also who plays with controller or, console players. So overall, a good talent there. I mean, it also comes to very high stability. Adding this on top of that is just crazy. You could say, what about Bullet King? Because you're talking about no reload here. Well, Bullet King is good, but the problem with Bullet King is that the stability and accuracy is low. And it does move a lot. Like, it will move a lot. You know that. If you use it, you know that. And also, it's an exotic, so I didn't want to include it at the same time because, new players might not have it. But DR9 overall is better. Plus, also higher damage there at the same time. Now, if you want damage talent, you can use it. I recommend something like Strained. Strained will be a good talent here because you easily activate it because of constantly firing the weapon. So you can get that extra 50% crit damage from it. Otherwise, stay with the steady-handed, get that accuracy, get that stability, get that unlimited ammo and no reload at the same time. Just beam basically with it, Next, we have the lefty shotgun here, which comes with the perfect sledgehammer. So that's the reason why I chose it. Just throw a grenade, get yourself the 40% damage to armor, and absolutely shred everything, right? Now, for the pistol, you could use the BZLB if you have it. If you don't bother. Just ignore it. But I usually forget using this, to be honest, not gonna lie. But yeah, you can just mark 2 to 3 targets with this, get crazy amount of weapon damage, like 20% weapon damage per stack. So if you can just mark 2 to 3 targets, you're already doing a million crits on the body just by yourself. And we didn't even talk about group buffs, right? Something like Future Initiative, opportunistic talent, all that ongoing directive, for example. If you get those buffs with this build, yeah, you're hitting million crits easily on body. But we're already doing really high damage anyway. And remember, our RPM will get increased really high from the gear set. Now, so speaking about the gear, well, I'm using the Coyote's Mask because Coyote just carries your crit chance and crit damage. Really good for yourself and also your entire team. So they get the buffs as well, which is nice. So that's why Coyote is here. So yeah. Now, as for the high-end piece, I'm using the Grupo here, which is giving us 15% crit damage. We also have weapon damage, crit chance, and crit damage mod. And I have a Vigilance talent. Now, since it's a group build, Vigilance is okay to use because we get that 25% of weapon damage. So yeah, vigilance is okay as long as you're playing in a group, it's fine. But if you're playing solo, I recommend like Unstoppable Force. You can also use this talent on group if you can get those kills and keep it up. That's you can use it. Otherwise, if you're solo, everything is yours to kill, so easy to proc. So same damage as vigilance. So if you want that extra damage in the backpack when you're solo, Unstoppable Force is your best friend. But if you want survivability, I highly recommend Bloodsucker. Do not sleep on Bloodsucker. Bloodsucker is amazing. It doesn't care if you have all red build or you have a all blue core build. It does not care. It gives you 100% of bonus armor, which is crazy amount of bonus armor, and keeps you alive. It's a very good talent on the backpack. So if you're solo, absolutely use Bloodsucker for survivability. If you don't care about that, if you just want damage, use Unstoppable Force. That's the only thing I would recommend, okay? So that's pretty much the build here. Now, let's talk about the gear set here, which is Umbra. So we have the chest piece of Umbra here. If you don't know what Umbra does, well, basically it gives you 15% crit chance for 2-piece, 30% reload for 3-piece. But the 4-piece talent is where all the magic is happening. It's a mouthful, I know, but let me just, give you a little bit of brief here. Well, basically what happens is when you're in cover, you gain 10 stacks per second. In 5 seconds, you build up 50 stacks. And that stacks gives you 1% crit damage, like each stack basically. So you have 50% of crit damage. And also gives you RPM, so you have 15% rate of fire, right? Just like Striker gives you 15% rate of fire, so it also does that. However, we're using the chest piece, so it doubles the buff. So instead of 50 stacks, we have 100 stacks now. So what happens is now we're getting 100% like of crit damage, which is crazy. And also the RPM is increasing, so we're getting 30% of RPM, which is doubled in Striker. So, I mean, you can see that how good it is, right? Now, that's just the first half of the talent. There is another second half of the talent, which gives you regeneration, armor regenerate. So when you're out of cover, you build up the stacks. When you're in cover, you heal your armor. Simple as that. I mean, it's just core mechanic of the game. What happens when you take damage? What do? You go in cover. You don't stand there and take more damage, right? So you go in cover. And when you do that with this build, well, it heals you. It's free. Like, it's just inbuilt healing. You don't have to worry about anything. Just get in cover and you'll get healed. Simple as that. So now my chest piece stats here, you can see weapon damage, crit damage, and crit damage here, the mod. For the holster, I have weapon damage, crit chance. For the knee pads, I have weapon damage and crit damage. And for the gloves, I have weapon damage and crit damage. If I show you my stats here with this build, I have 53% crit chance, 171% crit damage, which is pretty good. It'll get even further, like, increased, basically 100 extra percent, so 270% crit damage with this, the moment you activate your stacks from the gear set. I also have a turret as a skill, just for a little bit of chip damage there with the turret, and also a good distraction for enemies, so really helpful there. If you're playing solo, that's also nice. You can use decoy or healing drone, anything you want. It's totally up to you. I chose the turret here. So that's basically the build here. Now, if I show you another variant of the build, well, basically all you have to do is change the backpack to the Umbra backpack. It's just for people who doesn't want to farm a backpack like this or have a very bad RNG or something and you're tired of farming something like this, you're not getting it. It's okay. Relax. Just use the backpack. Yes, you did lose damage. You lost like 25% damage from the vigilance talent. But what you gain in return, well, you gain healing. So especially if you're playing solo, that's also a nice thing because it doubles the healing. And the healing is insane. The regenerate is crazy. So you can use the backpack and then change the gloves to the contractor gloves. That gives you 10% LMG damage and damage to armor at the same time. If you're watching this video today, a vendor, like weekly vendor, is selling this gloves. And otherwise, you can just go to Petrov targeted loot, like in Countdown and stuff. You can easily get this to drop. Not a hard thing to farm. It's very easy to get this glove. I'm not kidding. It's very easy to get it. So yeah, this would be the other variant for people who don't care about farming, you know, high-end pieces with talents and stuff like that. It's good. Good damage from the chest piece and RPM and all that. And also healing from the backpack at the same time. So you can use this. Now, back to the first variant. If I want to show you the stats on my variant, you can see my crit chance is 53%, 171% of crit damage, which is really good. However, we can increase that. We can make it even further. Like, we can get 100% extra crit damage on this. How? Well, all we have to do is take cover here and just wait for 5 seconds. It'll build up the damage. There you go. And then the moment you swap to your weapon and you're out of cover, and then look at that crit damage. Look at that. That is crazy. And if you get Strain Talent, you can have more than 300% crit damage on this build, which is kind of crazy, right? So yeah, that's how you get the crit damage. Now, if you go back in cover again, build up the, the stacks. And if you see the RPM of the weapon is like 970 there for a second. It does drop, but it's okay. It doesn't drop too much. Like you can see, you're staying out of cover, but doesn't drop too much just because we're using the chest piece. If you weren't using the chest piece, you would have lost the stacks by now. But since we're using the chest piece, we have 100 stacks to lose, and it loses 2 stacks per second. So it'll take some time to lose the stacks, right? So yeah, that's that. And we also have like really good damage there on the body, as you can see. Really good crits, 640k on it. And we don't even have expertise. If you have it, that'll be even more damage. And that's just raw damage from you, just solo player, your damage. And if you're playing in a group, if you're getting buff from something like a Future Initiative healer, opportunistic talent from the backpack, you're easily going to be hitting 1,000,000 crits. Now, if you want to hit that 1,000,000 crit by yourself, use that busy little bee, please. Don't forget about that. Just get 3 stacks, or 2 to 3 stacks, something like that, and then use the build. You'll easily hit 1,000,000 crits on the body if you just want to see that damage number by yourself. It's kind of fun. I mean, it's good to melt bosses. It definitely is good to melt bosses. So you could use it like that. Now, if you want to see the regen here, if you didn't pay attention in the video, let me show you how you can regenerate. So without the backpack here, if I stay in cover and just, use all the stacks, and this is how much you can regenerate your armor. I mean, it's free. You can't complain about it. It's a free of cost regen, inbuilt regen. You don't have to worry about it. You can do this every time you want. You just get out of cover, stay out of cover 5 seconds, which I'm pretty sure you will be, and then get back in cover, and boom, you're healing your armor, right? So if you do that 2 times, you're pretty much 90% of your armor is regenerated. Now, what happens when you use the backpack? Let me show you. Just gonna swap it to the backpack, and ignore the build there. But yeah, I'm just showing you how much regen you can get with the backpack. Like, look at that. It's basically going to be double regen. Look at that. That is very fast. That is very fast. See? That was very fast. A Memento backpack on all red build will not regenerate your armor that fast, which the Umbra backpack just did, which is kind of crazy. So if you are solo, if you want that regen, use that. And if you're in a group, then use the damage one. It's totally up to you. Decide, take it as a template, use it how you feel like it. I showed you all the variants. You can also change the weapon if you want. You can use San Telmo's engine there as well, or any other weapon. I wouldn't recommend SMG because you're basically running and gunning with the SMG and you're not taking cover much. Assault rifle and LMGs are good. I just wanted to use this GR9 with a unique way of using it, basically with a steady-handed, so you can have unlimited reload. I mean, not unlimited reload, unlimited ammo and no reload. So yeah, you could use it like that if you want. So give it a try. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, peace.